Well, it's back to work. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, VSGSpike, with what I would consider my week 1 update. It's my first full week of being post-op since I had my surgery on September 23rd, and it was an interesting week. It was good. Had some ups and downs, but all in all, just a lot of learning, a big learning experience. So I have some notes so I have all the specifics regarding my stats and everything. So as we remember, my starting weight was 484.6. This week, I think last week I was 429.6, I think. Yeah, 429.6. Today I am 424.8. I am 4.8 pounds down from the week before. A total loss of 59.8 pounds. And the total percentage of weight loss of 12.34%. I want to track that percentage as well, because it just gives me perspective, because I think eventually they were saying it could be, 60% of my excess weight or 80% of my excess weight. It obviously all depends on what I put into it. So I thought it'd be good to have that additional stat as well to kind of track how smaller I'm getting percentage-wise. So a good week, a learning week, especially. Really getting to learn how my stomach is working. A lot of that has to do with food, diet-wise. I've stuck to, I've had usually 2 protein shakes a day. I've had about 8 ounces of skim milk. Similar to what I mentioned last week in my update. 8 ounces of skim milk. I've had a yogurt each day as well. And then I sprinkle in a few other things. I've had soups. I've had a couple of egg drop soups, but it's not like I'm not having it every day. But I did try a different soup. It was a black bean and corn from Dole. It was all blended already, and it was pretty good. Not bad. But then I started feeling brave, and was like, I'm doing so well. This is great. So I want to try a couple things that, it shows on the next step that I can try through, the binder that I have. It said, a couple things I could try. One was refried beans, and I'm like, all right, that's cool, let's try it. So I tried some, and it was fine, but I learned very quickly, just a little bit of that, and boom, my stomach just feels it. It doesn't feel like it doesn't hurt, it doesn't feel like I'm nauseous, but it feels heavy in my stomach. So learning with something a little more solid was good, because it's definitely a uncomfortable feeling in a sense, but nothing that was like, oh my god, the old feeling if you ate too much, kind of sick to your stomach, upset, full feeling. It wasn't anything like that. It was a feeling of, hey, you've got a little something in here, so let's take it easy. Probably the best way I could put it. So that was good to learning that, and I'm still learning that. So, I've tried the beans with a little bit of another thing that showed on the list that I could have was a little bit of canned chicken if I break it up, mash it up with a fork, which I did. So I would actually have the two together, and just small amounts, not even an ounce of chicken, and if a quarter cup of beans, and warm that up with a little bit of spices. But and like I said, that was about it. But I had it a couple days ago, and I couldn't even finish it. So I just closed it up and put it in the fridge, and actually had the rest of it today. And like I said, still I have that kind of full, like, heavy feeling. So I'm just trying to let that sit, let that pass. And then I'm just gonna have some water. I've got my water bottle over here. And then later on I'll probably just have a protein shake, because I've had some milk and some yogurt today, so trying to keep it balanced as far as the diet, and slowly trying to introduce a couple of things. I may try, I probably try applesauce, unsweetened applesauce later, and then also I want to try mashed potatoes and see how that goes. I have a feeling those will probably go a little bit easier. They're not as heavy, as far as, like, refried beans would be. So I may try that later this week, kind of see how that goes. But a big thing this week was I already went back to work. I actually went back to work on Tuesday. Monday was my first real day home by myself, because all last week it was Ryan was home, and then I had my brothers, my dad, Ryan's dad and stepmom were over, so there were always people around, which was great. So yeah, it gave me plenty to do. But then Monday, Ryan leaves, I'm sorry. We all get up, and Ryan leaves for work like 6:30ish, and I was already up with them anyway. I wake up pretty early anyway, and I started playing some video games, walking around for a little bit, watched a little bit of TV. And by 10 o'clock, I was bored out of my mind. I couldn't stand it. And, like I said last week, I was already feeling really good. I've had the on-cue pump was out. I hadn't had any pain since then. So I called my, doctor's office and said, hey, here's the situation. I'm feeling fine. I have no pain. I'm getting plenty of exercise, getting plenty of activity. My food's going down, no problem. So they're like, and I told them what kind of work I do, and they said, as long as you don't lift above 10 pounds, then fine. I could drive if I wanted, and, I could go back to work, so that was great. So I went back on Tuesday. Now, thankfully, actually, Ryan works pretty close to me as well, so I actually didn't drive. I actually hadn't driven since yesterday, and so we carpooled together, so she drove. And it was great. Tuesday felt fine. My boss was like, just don't overdo it. I sit at a desk for the most part, but then I can get up and walk around when I want to. So I had no problem with that. Tuesday was fine. Wednesday was fine. But then Thursday morning, I woke up. I hadn't slept that well the night before, but then I also woke up Thursday morning, and my sinuses were just clogged to high heaven. I just felt like crap. I had a little bit of a headache, and I don't do well with headaches. I can deal with a lot of pain, but if I get a headache, I'll admit it, I'm a little bitch. I admit it. Ryan knows it. I'm a pain in the ass to deal with. But besides that, everything else, I just wasn't feeling good. I had nothing really to do with the stomach. It was just, I was just so, congested and just, ugh. So I did stay home Thursday, which was good because I felt great. Later that day, got a nap. Kept blowing my nose all day. Anyway, you don't need to know all about my snot. But since then, my sinuses are feeling better. But as you've noticed, I've had this little bit of a cough. So it could be drainage. I don't know. But other than that, I feel fine. Stomach-wise, no problem. Still no pain. No biggie. So that's been my week, really, in a nutshell. It's been good. I'm feeling productive, getting back to work. I got caught up on everything while I was out for that week, and I feel lucky because I really haven't had to do, like I said, it's a very low impact job, so I didn't see why I couldn't, and it's been fine since. I do go for my 2-week follow-up on Monday, which thankfully there's another office that I can go to near my work, so it's just a few miles away. And then that's where I'll talk to the doctor and see how everything's going and so on and so forth. My incisions, it's interesting, my incisions are starting to peel. Many of them have peeled because I do, like I said, I don't have stitches, it's glue. and a lot of them have started to peel and stick out, so I just, clip them off. I don't want to try and rip it off, but I clip them off. But some of them have peeled off completely, some of them are like halfway, but I mean everything underneath looks fine. It's just, it looks kind of like a cut. So just trying to maintain with those and, keep those clean, so there's no issues afterwards. Let's see what else. Back to work, congestion, food, glue. No, that covers it for everything, which is good. So, but yeah, so I mean, a good week back to work. The 4.8, I think, like I said, may have a little bit with the food I've been trying to eat, kind of coupled with how I was feeling middle of the week. But I plan, like I said, kind of stepping back from that, sticking to more of the protein shakes and softer stuff. Makes it's like I said, I don't get that same heavy hitting feeling like I do when I had the beans and stuff and such. So I'll try to avoid that going forward. At least for another week or two, to see how I'm feeling, and then, like I said, kind of slowly work in. At this point, I could probably start. My dietitian said after 2 weeks I could start working in some purees. So I think I'll start doing that maybe later this week. See how that goes. But I still can't complain with how much I've already lost so far in only a month. To be down almost 5 pounds in a week is great. I'm never going to say no to that. Absolutely. So I think I'd mentioned this before. I do have kind of a lofty goal, which still seems very attainable. By Christmas time, I would love to see if I can get 100 pounds down. I'm already almost 60 pounds at this point. So 40 pounds in 3 months. I hope I can drop that much in essentially 3 full months, maybe 2 and a half or 2 3/4, whatever, with being in October. So it's definitely not a long shot. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm just ready to get back into the frickin' gym. I know I'm not gonna lift. I'm not gonna overexert myself. But I'm getting my walking in, and it's fine. But I really do look forward to getting back in the pool. That's what I enjoy. I just have to wait, essentially, really waiting till my incisions heal. And they recommended somewhere in the range of 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm going to honor that. I'm not going to try and overdo it and do something to really, screw up any work on the inside, nor any of the incisions and risk them getting infected, because that'd just be stupid. But I really do. I look forward to getting back in the pool because I enjoy it so much. I have always enjoyed it, and especially now that we're back in, the pool's open again, and it's such a blast. So I do look forward to getting back to that at some point soon. But other than that, I'm trying to catch up with videos. I'm commenting and watching as much as possible. I have been trying to play catch up with work at the same time. So if I don't comment, it doesn't mean I'm not watching, because I definitely watch as many videos as I can throughout the week. I do get a little bit of downtime here and there, so I do like to watch them while I'm at work. So I love watching everybody's journeys. I know there's several people that have just had surgeries here recently, or are going to be having them very, very soon. So it's been great watching that and kind of reliving that a little bit. But then, like I said, everybody who's come before, whether it's been a month or two or a year or two, it's been good because it's just a constant learning experience, both through my own experiencing it myself and watching what everyone else has been up to. So I appreciate it. Love all the support. I can't say enough, because I've thrown out some questions on Facebook and everyone's been really supportive and responded back. So I do appreciate it. I do thank you very, very much. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Have a kick-ass week, and I will talk to you soon. Take it easy.